Have you ever noticed how some words in English seem to have a secret life? They look like one thing, but they're secretly doing a totally different job. Well, today, we're putting on our detective hats to investigate the most versatile actor in the English language, the verb. And our first mystery, it all starts with a single, kind of perplexing word.
So here's the puzzle we're trying to solve. Look at the word working. In one sentence, it's what someone is doing. In another, it's describing a person. And in a third, it's an activity, like a hobby. How on earth can one word wear so many different hats? Don't worry, by the end of this, you'll be able to spot the disguise every single time.
Okay, so every good mystery has its straightforward characters, right? The ones who follow all the rules. And in the world of grammar, that's where finite verbs come in. These guys are the predictable, reliable core of most sentences we use.
So what makes a verb finite? It's actually pretty simple. It's limited, or finite, because of two things. The tense, which is just the time of the action, and the subject, the person or thing doing it. It basically has to change its costume to match the scene. Let me show you what I mean. Take a look here. He works hard now. See how the verb work adds an S? That's because the subject is a single person, he, and the action is happening right now, in the present. It's following the rules perfectly, no funny business.
Now, let's just rewind the clock and change the time to the past. And boom, the verb changes again. Works becomes worked. The verb is still just doing its job, changing its form to show us we're talking about the past. Still no surprises here.
And for our final piece of evidence on these rule followers, look what happens when we change the subject from one person, he, to a whole group, they. The S just vanishes, and it becomes they work. This is a classic example of how finite verbs always change to agree with their subject and tense.
All right, now for the really fun part. If finite verbs are the rule followers, the non-finite verbs, well, they're the mysterious rule breakers. These are the words that cause all the confusion because they just refuse to play by the normal grammar rules.
And here's the huge difference, laid out side by side. Finite verbs are the main action, and they have to change. But non-finite verbs, they don't care. They stay the same no matter the tense or subject. They've basically broken free from those rules, and instead, they start moonlighting as other parts of speech.
This, right here, is the absolute key to solving our entire mystery. Non-finite verbs are masters of disguise. A word that looks like a verb might actually be pretending to be a noun, or an adjective, or even an adverb. It's an imposter, hiding in plain sight. So if these verbs are running around in disguise, I think it's time we unmask them, don't you? In our investigation, we've identified three main suspects, three primary identities that these sneaky non-finite verbs like to adopt. And here they are, our non-finite trio, the infinitive, the gerund, and the participle. Believe it or not, these three forms are responsible for most of the verb-related confusion in English. So let's get to know them one by one. First up, we've got the infinitive. You'll almost always spot this one with its little sidekick, the word to. So in the sentence, he wants to work hard, the phrase to work isn't the main action. The real action is wants. To work is the thing that he wants. See? It's acting like a noun, telling us his goal. Next in the lineup is the gerund. Now this is any verb with an ing at the end that has decided, you know what, today I'm going to be a noun. In swimming is good exercise, swimming isn't what someone is doing at that moment. It is the thing, the activity itself. It's a verb in a noun's costume. And our third and final suspect, the participle. This one is a verb disguised as an adjective. Its whole job is to describe a noun. So if I say, it was a tiring journey, the word tiring isn't an action. It's describing the journey. What kind of journey was it? A tiring one. Simple as that.
Okay, so now we have the clues, we've met the rule followers, we've unmasked the rule breakers. It's time to go back to our original crime scene and crack the case of that pesky ing word once and for all.
Remember our first puzzle, the word working? Now that we know all about gerunds and participles, we actually have the tools we need to see right through its disguises. Let's put our new skills to the test. And here it is, our detective's board, laying out all the evidence. It all comes down to the job the word is doing in the sentence. If working comes after a verb like is, and it's the main action, it's a real verb. If it answers the question what and acts like a subject, it's a gerund. And if it's describing a noun, it has to be a participle. So let's look at this example. The man working here is honest. Is working the main action here? Nope, the main verb is. So what is working doing? It's describing the man. Which man are we talking about? The one working here. That's an adjective's job, which means it's a participle. Case closed on that one.
And how about this one? Smoking is not allowed here. Ask yourself, what is not allowed? Smoking. The word smoking is the subject of the whole sentence, the thing we're talking about. So it's a verb acting like a noun. And that, my friends, means it's a gerund. The disguise is revealed.
And just like that, the mystery is solved. You see, understanding the difference between finite and non-finite verbs isn't just about passing some grammar test. It's like gaining a new superpower that gives you a whole new level of clarity when you read and write. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Don't just look at a word. Look at what it's doing. A word that ends in ing isn't automatically an action verb. You have to be a detective. Look at its role in the sentence, and that's how you'll uncover its true identity. Ultimately, mastering this isn't about memorizing a bunch of boring rules. It's really about a shift in how you see things. It's about understanding the different jobs a word can have inside a sentence. And once you can see the roles, you can see through any disguise. Now, what grammar mystery should we solve next?